All right, good evening, everybody. Cleta the Cheetah here. I'm so happy to be here tonight. It's October the 9th, 2022. And so you guys, this is we've a week of October is gone. Actually, a week and 2 days. So what happened? I mean, didn't we just announce last Sunday night all the promotions, and now a fourth of the month is gone? And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And so I want to share with y'all something that in church this morning that was just so good. And the sermon our preacher has been preaching about larger than life Jesus. And today the scripture was one that is very familiar to all of y'all, I'm sure. But some of you, if you're like me, there are some verses I know, like, John. Well, I can't even think of any right now. But anyway, I was going to say John 11:35, which is just Jesus wept, shortest verse in the Bible. But anyway, this verse is Psalm 118:24. And I've sang it, I've said it, and I love this verse. It's just, this is the day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And he's got his example today was the day that John F. Kennedy died. He gave like 5 or 6 examples. I won't remember them all, but like that very day that John F. Kennedy died, which of course was one of the worst days, right, for him, of course, for him and his family when he was assassinated. That same day, Walt Disney, a guy named Walt Disney, okay, y'all know Walt Disney World, flew over southern Florida and located however many acres, I think it was 400 acres of land that he invested in that same day. And then there were like 4 other things happened, and some, like the worst day of somebody's life was the best day of somebody else's life. And the whole point was, he talked about like that every day is a new day, and in the world at any hour of a day, somebody is having a new day, like because of the time, right? So like when we're getting up, some people are going to bed, and they're getting up when we're going to bed. So somewhere all over the world, it is a new day. And every single day is the day that the Lord hath made. And we want to rejoice and be glad in it. Even on our mountaintop days, other people are having their most devastating days, and vice versa. But every day, the Lord is still in control. And so I love the verse. He talked about how Jesus was the chief cornerstone, and that like once on a house, once you have the cornerstone, if the cornerstone's wrong, your cows could be cattywampus on the street. And it was said that if you build the house, you take that cornerstone out, that the whole house would crumble. And of course, Jesus is our cornerstone. And the other verse he talked about was Lamentations 3:22 and 24, which talks about the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. And it never ceases, whether you're going in good days or bad days. So you're like, I thought we was on a Mary Kay meeting tonight. I say this because in Mary Kay, we are going to have mountaintop experiences. And then we're going to have days that just are not the best days. Like days you want to quit, days you want to throw in the towel, or days that you doubt yourself, or someone rejected you, someone quit on your team, someone sent back their product, someone called you and returned everything they bought last week. There are going to be days like that too, right? But we're going to get up, and every day we're going to say, this is the day that the Lord hath made. So I thought, you know what? Of course I know that verse, and I know the song. We sang the song in church this morning. I thought, I'm going to write it. So I open my Bible. It's this Bible. My goodness. It's 20 years old. I got it in 6/1802. It's a John Maxwell Bible, which I love. So I thought, let me write it. So I thought I didn't have any room to write it over here. So I just thought, I'm going to write it right here. I don't care. So I wrote it right up here. And not that I don't know the verse, but I just wanted to know the reference of, Psalms 118:24. So I wrote it in. And then in church, I was glancing down here. Look down here. I'd already written it down. Who knows what year that was? And it's just a good verse that every day the Lord, like, it's a fresh new day. And no matter what happened yesterday, you cannot change one single thing. But the fact that you woke up and God put some breath in your air, means you're having a better day than some that didn't get that this morning, right? And so every day can be a good day. And you know that God's love for us never ceases, even on our worst days. And that's the day sometimes we feel like we need it the most, right? So I just wanted to start out with that little tiny sermonette. And I won't sing to you, although I am a funeral singer. If any of y'all, you can't request it because you'd already be gone. But, That is one of the things I do that you probably would be surprised at. But anyway, so today, what I want to talk to you about, I was thinking we had our fall advance this weekend at our house. It was so amazing. What was amazing about it was that people showed up, that Mary Kay sisters got together. We were able to encourage each other. They blessed me by being women of their word and showing up. There were women that could not come that watched it, that blessed each other. I got the sweetest notes and the best feedback on our teachers, Selah and Janet and Brittany Plasma. And, you know, it was just like, it's what Mary Kay is all about, is that sisterhood. And it was so encouraging. And we set big goals. Everybody there set big goals. So I wanted to talk to you about the goal that you might have set on October 1st, or maybe it was the 2nd on the Boss Babe call last week, when you heard about the double credit. And you think, I'm doing it, I'm maxing it out, or whatever your goal was. I've heard consultants saying, I'm going DIQ November the 1st, or I'm getting in my red jacket this month, or, you know, I'm going to do 2,000 wholesale. So that'll count as 8,000 retail because I'm going for the Queen's Court of Sales, or I'm going for Princess Court, or even Unit Court. And, you know, they made some big statements, okay, of what they're going for. So I wanted to just go over a couple things that came in my mind today when I was thinking about that. And then, I'm sure some of the directors will have something to add to it. So today, you should be a fourth of the way to your goal. So let's just talk about that. So if you were going to max it out, that'd be 6 team members, right? Then, because that's the max that you get double credit, not that you can't get 10 team members this month, right? But 6, then at this point in the month, actually on the 9th, you should have, you know, 1 3/4 recruit, like 1 or 2 recruits already. If you're 2, then you're right on track, right? But 1 or 2 already. If you're going for maxing out your wholesale, then you should already have ordered 500 or have it in the bank where you're ready to do a $500 wholesale order, right? If maybe your goal was to do a power start this month, so you can do all that other stuff, then you should have already done about 9 faces already for the month, you know, either virtual or in person that you actually shared the product with. Maybe your goal was to do, you know, say, I'm going to start doing 2 to 3 parties a week, you know, and so you look back, did you do that last week? Some of the consultants have said, my goal is to do DIQ this month. And so that's 10 active team members. So now, I mean, you should, around this time of the month, if you decided that on the 1st, you should have around 3 active, you know, so that you don't wait till the last second. Maybe you're a director and you're like, I'm maxing out wholesale. That's 20,000 wholesale. So then right around this time, you should already have in over 5,000 to be on track. So what do we do in Mary Kay? We wait till the last minute. Why do we do that? I don't know. We wait till the last month, the last minute, the last hour. You know, I will say back in the day, and we talked about that a little bit, we could not wait till the last minute. Well, we did in some ways, because the last minute is what time you had to leave your house to get to the distribution center. That was the last minute. You know, you knew it took you 4.5 hours to get to your distribution center, like ours is in Atlanta. Then I knew that if it closed at 5 o'clock, that I had to leave, you know, no later than 12:30 to get there on time to turn in those orders with cash in my hand. All right. Now we have up till, you know, in Eastern time zone, 1 a.m. And literally there's always somebody that does an order at 12:58. I don't know why our nature sometimes is to wait till the last minute. So the markers that we want to check this month are the ones that I just said. And so all of this is how do you check stuff like that? And it's basically tracking. And tracking is the one word that I don't think people love to do it. I don't say we hate's a strong word, but it's one of the things we don't love to do, but it's one of the things that we really need to do. And if you think about it, every successful person that is success in different things that they do, they track. Whether it's like when I played basketball, you know, the goal was always to at least hit 70% at the free throw line. That means 7 out of 10 free throws we put in the basket. And, you know, better would be 90%, but, you know, minimum was 70%. And we practiced free throws every practice to make sure we could hit that free throw. And we would do them in different kind of scenarios, like under pressure. So when game time came, we could hit the mark. And we would track that. And if someone was bad at the free throw line, I mean, they had to practice more till they got that percentage on up there. People that are working out, Okay. They may have a goal of how many push-ups they can do. Maybe they start out and they can do 10, but the goal is maybe to do 25 or whatever. I know Sayla's dad had a goal of how much weight, dead weight, he wanted to be able to lift. And he's 80 something years old, and he had a goal of what he wanted to lift. And I mean, it was like 100 pounds more than he could lift when he started, I believe. Sayla, you could correct me if I'm wrong later. Weight Watchers or some of these other programs, there's a certain number of pounds you want to lose. And so they tell you need to weigh once a week at least. Back when I was skinnier, I used to weigh every day. I don't know why. I just did. I'd get up every morning and I'd go weigh. And the scale never changed that much, because when you weigh every day, you don't go, oh wow, I haven't weighed in 2 years. What happened? So, but then some people are maybe trying to gain some weight. Who are those people, right? But some people are like, I just need to gain a little weight. And they weigh themselves, right? It's just a track to see what they've done. People in the financial business, they have quarterly financial reports. My dad has a printing company, and he always used to have his financial reports, and they would look at it each quarter. Where are we? Are we improving? Stock prices going up and down. People check that. Interest rates, all the banks and the realtors, they're always checking that. Profit margins and all this stuff. You're like, all this stuff is like so boring. I hate it. But the success rate percentages is what a lot of people check that are in sales, which we are. And that's how many calls it takes to get the sale. And once you know that number, it's just a matter of how many calls did you do that day. If, for example, it took 10 calls to get one person to say yes, and you're trying to get 2 yeses, common sense would tell you have to call 20 people, right? And so when you know your numbers, maybe you're better than that. Maybe it's 1 for every 5 people you call say yes, and maybe it's 1 out of 2. And in your mind, it may be every person I call says yes. And if they don't, they must be confused. That's what I think. I like to say people can't tell me no. And when they do, I just feel like they're a confused person. And so you have to start getting that attitude, right? So why do people track things? Okay, so let's just talk about a couple reasons people track things. Number 1 is to see progress. So I want you to think of tracking as positive instead of negative, is to see progress, because when you see yourself moving up, like if you were trying to lose weight, when you see the scale go down, it's exciting, right? When you have a sales goal and you see the little thermometer filling up, I do it every single month with my unit, and I just start coloring in the thermometer. And every time I can move it up $1,000 or so, it makes me encouraged to want to get back on the phone and not give up. So it's encouraging to see your progress. Number 2, you track so you won't get behind. And that doesn't sound as encouraging, but like if you feel like, oh no, I'm getting behind, then you double up, right? You double up what you're doing so that you can catch up with what you need to do. And so sometimes that happens. Have you ever worked another job and then maybe someone in your family got sick or you got sick, and then you had to go back and you had to catch up for the work that you missed, right? And it was like, so maybe you had to put in a couple extra hours that week because of the work that you didn't do last week for whatever reason. So sometimes in your Mary Kay business, you may have to catch up. So you may not get to watch some kind of show that you always watch on TV at night. Instead, you may have to go make some booking calls because you didn't work last week, or you're a little behind on your goal, and you mean you're doing your goal. So you catch up by working a little extra hours, okay, or however many you need to do. Number 3, we track to see where adjustments might need to be made. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But if you're putting in the time and the effort, and the results aren't happening, it could be something you need to tweak a little bit, Number 4 is to discern if there is a problem. And if you have people working for you in your office, or let's say you had another job and you had some people working for you, if you never checked up on them ever, have you ever heard about somebody who embezzled $300,000 from their company? And you're like, did nobody check her books this whole time she worked on, there? Nobody looked behind anybody. Nobody inspected what they expected, right? And so you want to discern if there's some kind of a problem in your business of what you could do to fix it, right? Maybe it's an attitude adjustment, even something in your mind, okay? Some people, when they recruit people, then somebody quits, then they decide they're not recruiting because everybody they recruited quits. or something crazy. They start prejudging all their new customers. Okay. So you got to look at that. They're a problem. Number 5 is for encouragement. And that's kind of to see progress too. But it is for encouragement, to encourage you, A, to keep going, or encourage you, B, to get moving. One or the other. One or the other. About a year ago, well, no, 2 years ago this month, we were going back in qualification for the pink Cadillac, but they had the XT6, which was the bigger pink Cadillac, and it was more production. It was $20,000 a month, which was, I mean, it was $20,000 a month instead of before. For the pink Cadillac, it was like 17. So it was a little bit more than what we were doing before, or what it took before to earn it. And at the time, we were kind of hit and miss in that number. And I thought in September, I thought, you know what? I thought, I want that bigger Cadillac. I know I got to get with it because my numbers have not hit it every month. And if I did exactly what I did the previous 6 months, I'm going to run short. And that is going to make me so angry. So I did a little goal poster on poster my wall. And then I went to Vistaprint and I had it printed out large, and where I could color it in. And I put it on my door, and I tracked that pink Cadillac from week one of the 6 months. And I meant that I was not going to get behind and I was going to win it. And so of course, excuse me, because we are public, earn the use of the pink Cadillac that we will drive for 2 years, and we have to, requalify. So, we don't win it. It's not a drawing. Okay. But I tracked it every single week. I colored in the chart. And it was encouraging to me to see it go up. I'm like, all right, I'm getting closer. Okay. And then number 6 is just to catch any kind of an error before it's too late. If you go and try to track your numbers after it's over, then you can't make adjustments. In other words, for example, I turn in my numbers to a national sales director that she has a virtual meeting. And so for the meeting to be recognized, you have to turn in your numbers. There's a little Google form, we send it in. And if I wait till then to see what I had done, like to get the recognition or whatever else, it's too late, because I can't go back and do anything else because the numbers were due, like the month is over. So to track it during the month helps me catch an error or something that may be going wrong, before it's too late. Okay, so let's talk about Mary Kay. Sometimes at Mary Kay, we just don't really think of our business like a real business. We really don't. We just whatever happens. And that's okay. I mean, you may be making $250,000 at your other job, and if you make $50, you're excited with Mary Kay. It's just for fun. That's fine. But for everybody else who needs money to pay bills, you can raise your hand. I mean, I love Mary Kay, and I would, I don't think about the money all the time, but I do. I want to take it seriously. Sometimes we avoid it because we already know that we didn't stick to what we said we were going to do. So we don't want to go back and look at it, because sometimes it's painful to see the truth. Mary Kay, for directors, there's something called a unit analysis report. And you can print it out and see your percentage. You see what your average is and what you did last month. And you can see all that kind of stuff. And if you had a terrible month, you really don't want to look at it, because you already know. But the truth is, it's just facts. It's not good or bad. It's just what it is. And then you have to make a decision, right? And so we avoid these reports so we can live in disillusion that, it's going to magically be okay. But I know y'all have heard this a million times in Mary Kay, that Mary Kay is not Mary Kay is not magical. There's magic moments, but it's not magical. It's mathematical. And it's really pretty easy. It's a pretty easy thing to track. How many new faces have you done last week? How many new leads did you get last week? How many sample packs have you sent out and followed up with? How many people have you had a 15 to 20 minute career chat with? I mean, that's really it. That's really what you need to track. Those little tiny things. And that's when you signed up to sell Mary Kay to now at 37 years later. That's really what I need to track. As a sales director, I might want to track how many consultants have you talked to this week? It's some things for my office and things like that. But as a consultant, that's it. All right. Book, sell, recruit. So we make it real complicated. We really do. But book, sell, recruit is really all, that's really all it's about, right? And if what you're doing is not leading to one of those following things, like it's not helping you get more bookings, it's not helping you sell, and it's not helping you recruit, honestly, it is a waste of time that you, if it's not, that's a waste of precious time that could be getting you closer to your dreams that you have in Mary Kay and your dreams for your family. So really look at what you're doing and see if there's some things, if it's not getting results, you might need to do something different, right? And so let's talk about what we're going to do about it. So I want to challenge you guys for just this week, this next week, just track this week and see in writing what you're doing. How many faces, how many leads, how many bookings, sales, career chats, just those 5 things right there. And if at the end of the week, you say, I did 0 faces, I got 0 leads, I got 0 bookings, I had 0 sales, and I had 0 career chats, don't be surprised and say, Mary Kay don't work for me. Because to be honest, you did not work last week. Okay. Now, if you're going off to the Bahamas and you aren't doing anything last week, that's fine. You don't have to do any of that stuff if you don't want to. However, the next week, you're going to have to double up. Just like if you were at another job, you got to catch up, right? So it could be that last week in your mind, you went to the Bahamas and you got all that was a big fat 0. This week is something you could change it and really get some things going this week and say, okay, if I only do 1 blessed face and 1 blessed lead and 1 booking, and I sell just $100 and do 1 career chat, I'm at least going to do that. I'm at least going to do 1. And do y'all know at the end of a month, if you at least did that and did, $400 in sales, 4 career chats, 4 bookings, 4 leads, and 4 faces. I mean, honestly, if you had 4 bookings, you probably had parties, you would be surprised what just a little tiny bit, you really would be surprised. So let's just say you do track it. And then at the end of the week, you got 20 leads and 1 booking. So this is where you kind of look and say, what are the adjustments I need to make? So you might need to adjust your booking script, because if you're getting tons of leads, but no bookings from it, I mean, the good part is you're getting the leads. But if you're not getting the bookings, it's what are you doing with the leads? What exactly are you saying? So that's where you might need to go and look at some booking scripts and some what to say to those people. And it might just be a little tiny thing to change of what you're saying. Maybe you did 10 faces, but your sales were really low. Maybe you only sold like $40 or something, you're like, I don't know. It might mean that you need to adjust your close when you close your sale in, group close or individual close. And maybe you're just finishing and going, anybody want to get anything? And they're like, no, thank you very much. We enjoyed you being our party planner tonight free. Let's do it again next week. I had a couple shows like that at one time. And maybe you talk with 10 people about selling Mary Kay. You said, I know I did 10 interviews, 10 career chats, and nobody said they do it. So you might need to go back and say, what exactly are you saying at these career chats? I mean, maybe it's that you're talking too much about you and not enough about them. So there might be just something little, and you can talk to your mentor about this, your sales director, your mentor. You can even get a power partner and practice on each other. I know 2 of my consultants, Misha, one of my awesome A-team members, and Linda Ruth, they're powering up and they practice their booking scripts on each other. And they're going to do a 21-day booking blitz, and they're going to be accountable to each other every day. I love that. I know both of them will increase in their business because they picked a power partner to not let each other off the hook. So I want y'all to think about that. Sometimes it's a simple adjustment. And we at our unit meeting, at our fall advance, we talked about the 212 degree difference. And so you may have heard this before, but just in case you haven't, I'm not going to show the video on it, but it's where at 211 degrees, water is hot. Okay. But at 212 degrees, water starts boiling. 1 little degree, water starts boiling. And with boiling water, you get steam. And with steam, you can run a locomotive. 1 degree difference. And so the whole video was about just tweaking like just 1 degree more in your business, in what you do, in your efforts, in your acts of service, in the way you treat other people. Just a little tiny bit could make a huge difference in your month. just a little bit. So it doesn't have to be major. That's like I say, if you're not doing anything, just start with the number one and say, I'm going to do one this week. And then, you know what? If you did one this week and then next week, say, I'm going to do two of all this thing. And then the next week I'm going to do 3. And the next week I'm going to do 4. You will not believe it's going to blow your mind, the difference in your Mary Kay career. I'm not even kidding. So I do want to show one little video. And I love this video, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. It was on Facing the Giants, and I've seen it 3 times in the last week. But it's motivating to me. I think it's like 5 minutes. But to set you up, if you haven't seen it, probably most of you have. It's about a football team, and this coach comes in and gets his football team. They're not very good, and of course, they're facing the Giants, which is the other team. Okay. And this was in practice. And they did have this thing called the death crawl where they have to walk on their hands and feet, can't let their knees touch the ground to the 20-yard line and with somebody on their back. And so that's where it kind of picks up. And I want you to watch this. And when you watch it, it's talking about giving it your very best. So I want you to watch this, and then I'm going to kind of close with that. So let me share my screen, and I'll look at the chat. You guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear the video part of it, because sometimes I don't know why it doesn't work. Okay.
So, Coach, how strong is Westview this year? A lot stronger than we are.
You already written Friday night down as a loss, Brock?
Well, not if I know we could beat them.
Come here, Brock. You too, Jeremy.
What, am I in trouble now?
Not yet. I want to see you do the death crawl again, except I want to see your absolute best.
What, you only go to the 30?
I think you go the 50.
50. I can go to the 50 if nobody's on my back.
I think you can do it with Jeremy on your back. But even if you can, I want you to promise me you're going to do your best.
All right.
Your best.
Okay.
You going to give me your best?
I'm going to give you my best.
All right, one more thing. I want you to do it blindfolded.
Why?
Because I want you giving up at a certain point when you can go further. Get down. Jeremy, get on his back. Maybe a good tight hold, Jeremy. All right, let's go, Brock. Keep your knees off the ground, just your hands and feet. There you go. A little bit left. A little bit left. There you go. Show me good effort. That way, Brock. You keep coming. There you go. It's a good start. A little bit left. A little bit left. There you go, Brock. Good strength. That's it, Brock. That's it.
Not at 20 yet?
Forget the 20. You give me your best. You keep going. That's it. No, don't stop, Brock. You got more in you than that.
I ain't done. Just resting a second.
You got to keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's go. Don't quit till you got nothing left. There you go. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. You keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. Keep driving. Your very best. Your very best. Your very best. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. Don't quit on it. Keep going. Keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. That's it. Your very best. Don't quit on it. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go. That's it. You keep driving. Keep your knees off the ground. Keep driving. Don't quit till you got nothing left. Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. I want everything you got. Come on, keep going. It hurts. Don't quit on me. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go.
He's heavy.
I know you said it.
I'm out of strength.
Then you negotiate with your body to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going. You hear me? You keep going. You're doing good. You keep going. You not quit on me. You keep going.
It hurts.
I know it hurts. You keep going. You keep going. It's all hard from here. 30 more steps. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Keep going.
Burn.
And let it burn. It's all hard. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Come on. Keep going. You promised me your best. Your best. Don't stop. Keep going.
Too hard.
It's not too hard. You keep going. Come on, Brock. Give me more. Give me more. Keep going. 20 more steps. 20 more. Keep going, Brock. Give me your best. Don't quit. No. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Brock Kelly, you don't quit. Keep going. Keep going. Go, Brock Kelly. You don't quit on me. No, you keep going. You keep going. Go, Brock. 10 more steps. 10 more. 10 more. 10 more. Keep going. Don't quit. Give me yours. Oh, you can. You can. 5 more. 5 more. Come on, Brock. Come on. Don't quit. Don't quit. Come on, Brock. 2 more. 1 more. Look up, Brock. You're in the end zone. Brock, you are the most influential player on this team. If you walk around defeated, so will they. Don't tell me you can't give me more than what I've been seeing. You just carried a 140-pound man across this whole field on your arms. Brock, I need you. God's gifted you with the ability of leadership. Don't waste it.
Coach,
Can I count on you?
Yes.
coach,
What is it, Jeremy?
I want a 160.
All right. Who's next?
Okay, you guys, I love the movie. I love the scene. And when I watch it, I just think I want y'all to apply it to yourself. And I apply it to myself too. Am I giving my very best that God has instilled each of you with leadership abilities? And are you playing full out? Because some people are waiting on you to do it before they do it. And they're like, if she can't do it, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what Facebook has done? They have cut me off because I played that video. So hang on just a minute. I'm gonna start over. Facebook